This is the fifth and final round of the Swiss rounds in our Cornerstone event held at Portland, Oregon at Portland Game Store. The top of the screen is Gage playing his Druid deck. It is a Fire Air Druid deck. The bottom of the screen is Stu playing a mono Fire deck. There have been a lot of Druids in the Swiss rounds of this tournament, and if you are tired of seeing Druid mirror match games, then you are going to be disappointed when you watch through the top 8 videos. Stu starting his turn here. Desert for turn 1, summoning Tawny, passing over to Gage. We are playing the second Seer rules for this tournament. Gage saying he forgot the scry at the beginning of his turn, so they're allowing that to go ahead and do that. Technically, that's sort of problematic just because Stu has played out a card, and so there's now information on the board that you could use to inform it. But we like to keep things friendly and casual. And there's not a ton of information that he's going to be able to glean from Stu playing out a desert. Gage already knows that he has deserts in this deck. It's a mono fire Druid deck. Turn 1 for Gage. He's got a Glastonbury Tor out for some early mana fixing. Then they're just talking about some of the lore of Glastonbury Tor. A lot of the cards from Arthurian Legends are have direct connection to the actual Arthurian Legends. That is one of the things that people like about it. Sorcery itself doesn't have a lot of self-contained lore. There's no epic story to any of the characters or factions in the game, but they just draw on and take inspiration from a lot of historical elements and established fantasy elements that are already pre-existing, like Arthurian legend. Gage thinking pretty hard about this play. He's going to play off to the side here. Desert to the side, moving Tawny over to make it harder for Stu to get in there with maybe a charge minion. If he has another desert, there's no stopping that ping if Stu decides to extend forward and connect here. Stu also keeping his Tawny back. I think he's figured out that especially when you're on the play and you're playing against another deck that is potentially running deserts, it's better just to leave Tawny behind first and see how the board develops. He does get the desert out to ping out Tawny, and a Warhorse charge in for 2 points of damage. Passing turn back over to Gage. Gage playing out Updraft Ridge. Something Tawny. Stu making a joke that the bird in the Updraft Ridge art is Tawny. 3 mana for turn. 3 mana for turn. Let's see if Gage has a response to the Warhorse. At this point, if he had something like a Violent or a Kobolds, could use those to deal with it. Could also use a burn spell like Firebolts, Colicky, and passing turn. So unable to deal with the Warhorse on this turn, choosing instead to get the Colicky out to threaten removal next turn, and playing it defensively to maybe give it a chance to stay on the board until his next turn. Oh no, he changed his mind. He passed the turn. He asked if he could take the positioning back really quick. No, and then changed his mind again, choosing not to, choosing to stick with the original defensive positioning. So, having the Colicky nestled all the way back there does make it harder to get to. Gage, I mean, he thought better of it having it on the home site just because he was afraid of potentially getting caught in a minor explosion if he moved Tawny up. Stu opting to go ahead and trade with his warhorse, paying one for a Torse Hammer, and just trading, clearing the board. Gage just free and easy giving away information. He made a joke saying like, "Oh, we both have trinkets this game," even though he hasn't played a trinket yet. Gage is a real cool guy. He is very very chill. He's very laid back. He's just here to have fun and enjoy life. Turn 4 here for Gage. Currently 3 mana in the mana pool. I think we got a sight coming out. Yeah, you got a beacon. Still playing defensively. Moving sideways all the way into the corner there. Saracen Raiders for 4 mana, attacking in for 3 points of damage. And then Tawny for another 1 point of damage. So, spreading out as best he can, getting a lineup though, like into, getting a lineup into kind of the danger zone lane here. Stu also now just giving away free information this game, accidentally dropping his Morgana from his hand onto the board. Beginning his turn here with 3 mana in his mana pool currently. I love watching these guys play. They're just really fun goofballs. Thinking about how he's going to play this turn. He almost tapped for a sight and then thought better of it, which means to me signals that he's thinking about how to layer his actions here to take advantage of Tawny and then get a resummon. He could fly Tawny in and attack for a point on the Saracen Raiders, and then after Tawny dies, he could play a sight to resummon Tawny back out. So I think that's what he was considering there at that point. But instead, I think it looks like he's tapping for a sight now. He's thinking about, yeah, there we go. So sight out, Vesuvius, 4 mana, Clamor of Harpies will teleport and kill and strike Tawny. Great location for Vesuvius for Stu, getting it to play all the way up field there, like just tucked in next to Gage's home site and away off of Stu's home site. So he has the Genesis requirement. He could pop that at any time, just deal 3 damage to everything nearby, which is huge. It sticks there, and it threatens to be potentially a board wipe for all of these low to the ground minions within that range. And if it's there until the end of the game, it threatens to either take Gage the door or be the final killing blow at door. Gage still in the lead by a hair with life total points here. Attacking, or no, not attacking, just moving with the Saracen Raiders to not allow for a defend and a reposition on the Harpies, and then taking a minor explosion to remove the Harpies from the board. Also, cleaning up the play earlier, just summoning Tawny from that site that he played out that turn. Stu tapping for a site. Is that a mirror realm in his hand? Maybe I can't see. 3 mana for kobolds with the trinket. Great combo there. Strikes for 3 points at the end of turn to remove the Saracen Raiders. Gage starting his turn here. Looking for a solution to the kobolds on the field now. Spell for turn. 5 mana in his mana pool. Pulling the Ripcord early here with the Druid flip. I don't know if I don't know if he's nervous about the kobolds on the field now, or if he thinks in this particular matchup, because it's a Druid versus Druid sort of mirror matchup, there's some advantage to flipping early. Moving. Just doing a move with Tawny. Kobold. Changing the move location real quick. Moving Tawny, playing out his own kobold. End of turn, he's going to pass, and his kobold will strike Stu's. Putting his kobold into a good position if left alive to attack into Stu's sights and then start striking his avatar. So Stu taking advantage of that Vesuvius location and just popping that right now, beginning of his turn. On the flip there, it's just real unfortunate for Gage. The Vesuvius is going to do three points of damage to every unit within a nearby area. It'll do 3 points to Bruin, and then it'll do 3 points to his avatar, which get transferred to Bruin. So that's enough to kill the Bruin token, unfortunately. And also, I believe that wipes out his Tawny with that reposition that Gage took, which is really unfortunate because that's it for Tawny tokens for Gage for the rest of the game here, since he is now flipped. Stu playing Clamor of Harpies to teleport and strike the kobolds. And it looks like he got a Wizard's Den out on the back row with Tawny for a one card draw. Gage thinking about his turn here. I think that was just like that was a real mistake, I think, for him to flip early there, especially flip in that location right next to Stu's Vesuvius. And I don't even think he was thinking about it at the time. It's really easy to a lot of these sites that have like passives or abilities that can trigger later. It's really easy to forget that they're there when you're developing. When the board state continues to develop, so it's a common thing. It's an easy thing to mislook, to overlook, unfortunately, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. Gage getting a great card though. Skull and Phoenix is going to do a lot of work in this matchup against Stu. Stu's deck and Mono Fire Druid deck. I think has very few ways to deal with the Phoenix. The Phoenix converts converts fire damage every time it would take fire damage from a source. It converts it into +1 power, so it effectively makes it immune to any damage with that is coming from a fire source, which unfortunately for Stu is going to be like almost everything in that deck. Just trying to think about what he would have to get around that. It's like Tawny with. He'd need 3 Taurus Hammer trinkets to boost Tawny up to 4 power just to take that out. Bruin on a flip is 4, but it doesn't have Airborne, so he'd have to have Gage be attacking in and have the ability to defend to even remove it. Thinking about additional removal options in the deck, he could have a Rolling Boulder, but I don't think Rolling Boulder is being played in this aggressive mono fire deck. He does have Disintegrates. Disintegrates are key and also very important for these types of kind of almost mirror match games here. I don't know if he has a Disintegrate in his hand, but that would be one of the few cards that Stu has access to in his deck that would potentially help him with that Phoenix now. Phoenix tucked all the way back up there in the corner safely, even if he could get to it for a banish. I don't. I think at minimum Stu's maybe 1 turn out from that. Tawny all the way down there at the bottom row on Wizard's Den. So Stu, looking at what he can do, what he can do here with the pieces that he has available. Gage again, because the Phoenix has Airborne and Updraft Ridge is in play here. It extends the threat range on the Phoenix by a huge amount. So just the way that passive ability works on Updraft Ridge is a little sneaky, because if you can declare a move and attack or defend with an Airborne unit and it can pass through Updraft Ridge with its existing movement, it can also calculate that +1 into its movement path. So for example, if it was Gage's turn, the Phoenix could declare an attack all the way to the Harpies, pass through Updraft Ridge, and make it to the Harpies to attack and remove them from the board. So despite the fact that it is tucked all the way back there in the corner, it is still a huge danger. The Harpies can get up there to the Phoenix, but again, it's not going to do him any good because they are a fire. They are a fire minion. Stu using the Harpies and Updraft Ridge to leapfrog to the home site, forcing a defend from Stu. Again, the Phoenix is not going to take any damage. In fact, it's going to get boosted by +1 when they fight. Stu getting the Phoenix into a position and then casting the Hillock Basilisk. So the Hillock Basilisk will disable anything on that shares its site or is directly in front of it. That is one of the few ways that I think that Stu's deck can handle that Phoenix right now. Great play. It is risky. It is vulnerable to removal options. There is a removal option that we see. Just like any way, like if you can get rid of the Basilisk, then it just becomes it frees up whatever it was trying to hold in place. Phoenix swinging in for 4 points of damage. Torsammer Trinket onto Gage's Druid, swinging in for another 2 points, passing turn. Probably putting the Trinket on the Druid. It probably didn't matter whether or not he put the Trinket on the Phoenix or the Druid, but moving the Druid up and attacking just since he can, but also to start moving his Druid up the field to get Stu within range of that 1 damage aura. So anything that enters nearby on a flipped Druid takes 1 point of damage. As it is right now, I mean, by moving up, he has locked Tawny into position there. Tawny can't move anywhere without taking a point of damage. Stu thinking long and hard here about what he's going to do next. It is tricky with that Phoenix, trying to play around that Phoenix. Tapping the Druid for looks like tapping the Druid for sight. Sight is town. So playing a town out brings his mana base up to 5. Changing his mind on position, moving the town and playing it to the right adjacent of his home site. 2 for a Jihad, and then the last. The remaining mana for turn here, the red caps. Oh, putting the Trinket on Tawny. Putting the Trinket on Tawny as a way to cheat around that Druid aura. So 2 points in from Tawny with the Trinket. 4 points in from the red cap because he gets that +1 from Jihad. So Stu's strategy, I think, to deal with the Phoenix, because he doesn't have a way to directly deal with that right now, is going to be to race Gage. Probably try to get him the door first. So, I mean, Gage with the Phoenix, he can either choose to race Stu if he thinks he can get him down the door faster, or he can try to start slowing him down and try to start removing some of these pieces on the board here. So he could remove Tawny, probably not the best use of that piece. He could also attack in and remove the red cap for free. That's what he's going to choose to do here. So remove that piece from the board. I mean, under the Jihad, 4 points of damage represents like a huge threat to you, especially when you're getting to the halfway point on your life total. 12 points, 12 points of damage. That's like 3 more swings with 4 power. Gage putting the Torse Hammer onto his Druid, and then just swinging for 2 points to just continue the march toward door with Stu here. I think that the Torse Hammer is the only thing he's cast so far this turn. He still has some mana left. He's just double check and seeing if he can make something else happen here. Taking the opportunity to go ahead and disenchant the Jihad. Really good play, I think. Real smart. Best not to hold on to that disenchant in case Stu has something like, say, like a ring or whatever later. Just better to get rid of that Jihad now that is a real threat to Gage. Passing turn back. Stu tapping the Druid to draw a site. Looks like he drew a desert. That'll give him some utility next turn for another ping if he needs it, and also a way to resummon Tawny if he needs it. Torse Hammer onto Tawny again, attacking for 2 points in. Monstrous Lion for 4 points in. Bringing Gage closer and closer here. I think he's at 6. And that's all he can do this turn, the past turn, so he can't bring him the door yet. If Gage can't remove anything, Stu has enough. Stu has 6 points to bring him the door on his next turn here. The Phoenix is still in play though, so I mean, at the very least, the Phoenix could move and attack the monstrous lion and remove that piece and keep the Phoenix alive again. It's just a question of whether or not Gage wants to do that, whether or not Gage wants to keep playing that game of just like cleaning up, removing pieces from the board and hoping that Stu doesn't have more charged minions to keep on sneaking that damage in. 3 mana for a Morgana. Rethinking the positioning on that, moving that back, just in case. I think he was getting paranoid that maybe that Stu had maybe a minor explosion. Although I guess it doesn't really matter if he puts it back there. Stu has a minor explosion. He could cast it from Tawny anyways. Drawing that hand for Morgana to get a look at that. That was 3 mana for Morgana. I think he has two mana left for turn here. So I don't know if he has any plays for 2 mana, but he still has a move to make with the Phoenix. And choosing not to remove the monstrous lion, and just going to swing with the Phoenix instead. I mean, swing with the Phoenix takes Stu from 8 to 4, which is very close to door, and it basically Stu can possibly be going to door on the next turn, depending on if he can't get rid of that Phoenix, depending on what Gage wants to do with the Phoenix on the next turn here. Gage asking if he can take that back really quick because he hasn't made any other plays this turn, so he rewound that really quick. Jihad first, and then a Phoenix just to pump in 1 extra point of damage. Considering what to do with the Druid. At this point, he could move the Druid. He can't get the Druid away from the Lion. So he looks like he's attacking the site just to push in 1 more point of damage just because. Oh, no, he's asking still. I think he's debating that last move since Stu hadn't fully started his turn yet there. So he's rolling that back really quick. He is not attacking the site. He is moving the Druid back 1. Back to Glastonbury Tor. Stu tapping his Druid, playing the Desert out. Force Hammer onto Tawny. No, he's double thinking what he wants to do here. Forgetting that Morgana is on the board there, and like Morgana not just like there to cast spells, but is a 3 power body on the board. So he's going to choose to instead attack in with the Monstrous Lion first to see if Gage is willing to block with it, and he does, which is unfortunate. So he's going to lose that hand of cards that would have probably helped him here on his next turn if he could have stuck it out. But I think Gage is getting paranoid that that Stu has what it takes to bring him the door here if left unblocked, and I think he does. Like, I think he would have brought him the door if the Lion got that 4 points in. He only needs to do 6. Stu only needs to do 6. He's got at least 1 with Tawny. He could push in, like we know he could push in 2 because he's still got that hammer in his hand. He hasn't flipped his Druid yet, so he still has that ripcord to pull. I think I saw a Saracen Raider in his hand as well. So if that was true, I mean, he could get close. Saracen would be 3, Tawny with the trinket would be 5. It's 1 point away from door. And I think it's really it's important if he can bring him to door on this turn. It is probably in his best interest to do that, just because Stu's only at 3 points, and it's basically guaranteed that he's going to go to door on the next turn. And you typically don't want to be the first player to door. You have a Taurus Hammer on the Tawny. There's the 2 points in, bringing Gage down to 4. He's thinking pretty hard about it. I think he's just like at this point you're exhausting all of your options, because like I said, you really want to get them to door if possible. He's playing a pact with the devil. A pact with the devil on Tawny. I think he just wants more cards in his hand. He wants more options to help round out this game on the next turn. He can't bring him to door yet, so he's just loading his hand now to hopefully give him the tools that he's going to need. Maybe digging for kind of like that Hail Mary, like he's hoping to get like a Courtesan Thace or something that would kind of seal the deal here on a mirror match when you're both at door. Stu realizing that the desert was an illegal play just because the updraft ridge wasn't his. You forget that sometimes when you play when one player plays further upfield than you typically expect. It's fine. He just repositioned it. Gage with Lava Flow. That'll take care of the lion. Tapping for ruins. And it only leaves him with one mana left, but I think he passed turn. I think he passed turn here, yeah. So Stu on door with that Phoenix sitting right on his head. Not a great position to be in. Stu definitely going to flip on this turn. Get Bruin out. That will give him a defender against the Phoenix, and in fact that would trade with the Phoenix, unless Gage had a Taurus Hammer in his hand, and Taurus hammered the Phoenix for +1, or somehow managed to step back and get into that Jihad aura for the +1 power. But I think Stu doesn't really have a ton of incentive right now to advance his Druid forward unless he stands to gain something from that reposition. Gage in a pretty good position. They were joking about Courtesan Thace a turn or two ago here, so I think both of these players are running Thace in here, and Thace really shines. It's a checkmate move when you're playing Druid. If you can get them to door and your Druid is on the flip, just because you can play Courtesan Thace, force them to take a step in and take that final point of damage. Stu really taking his time here, yeah, which is fine, just because this is the do or die portion of the game here, like the very final turns. 6 mana for a turn with the town down there. He is at door. Like I said, I mean, I don't think it's a question of if he's going to flip. He's going to flip. he's finally got an answer. He's kind of finally got an answer for the Phoenix. It is a Disintegrate. He got that at some point. Flipping for Brune. Three for the Disintegrate. 3 mana left. 3 mana left to make something happen. He could move Tawny up. He has the trinket, so he could trinket Tawny up or over into position if he wants to. Looking at his options, I'm trying to take a peek at what he has in his hand here. I see a Fire Breathing, which is super dangerous. He doesn't have enough to cast it this turn because he had to spend 3 on the Disintegrate. But I mean, mana well spent to get rid of the Phoenix. The Phoenix would have just been a huge problem for him, even with Brune flipped. Last 3 mana, yeah, two for a Warhorse, just get the Warhorse out, and then trinket on Tawny, just so Tawny can survive flying into that desert. Gage, passing turn to Gage. Gage joking that he only has 3 cards in his hand, and we know that he has a trinket in his hand, and he said he had a dead card in his hand, is what he said, and then whatever he just drew into. So we'll see what he can make happen here. He's got to deal with Brune. He's got to get that final point of damage in. Firebolts for 3 will clear the board except for Brune. I mean, Firebolts would have been like a pretty strong card if Brune hadn't been there. If there was a projectile lane open. Gage moving sideways with the Druid. Stu unable to resummon Tawny now that he's flipped, so they're kind of in the board that they have right now. Stu still has a ton of cards in his hand, just a ton of cards. How many is that? 6, 7? He's even joking about it right now. God, he's got so many. It's insane. He's got to have an answer. He's got to have an answer here somewhere. Stepping forward. Saracen with the Torse Hammer, 4 door. Gage, yeah, he drew into a grapple shot. He's trying to grapple shot, but it's not going to work for a number of reasons. Like he's going to come into his range, take a point of damage, and die. They would both. No, like he would die. It's not going to work. And even if he didn't die, like Brune would take the damage. So Gage is just conceding that the game is over at that point. A good game to watch. It was a really close, tight game. These are both really good players from our area. And like I said, they're real humble. They're very friendly. It's always a joy to be able to kind of hang out with them and play with them. So that was the 5th round of Swiss here, and we'll move on into the top cut games.